Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the We So Fly Morning Show. You know, you got your girl, Lady May, leading this interview today, and my boy Trills. Come on, Trills. Come on. Tell them how you feel.
Man, you already know, Lady May, man. We are the We So Fly morning show, man. So you know we are blessed every time we wake
We
up, man.
we we fly. We fly. So let me let me get into this introduction because this is my girl right here. Like when I say we connect, we connected. So today we have a very remarkable guest. Her name is Jemika Hall, the founder of Mark's Friends. And she will be here today on this show to give us a little intake on her journey and tell us how you introduce yourself, Jamaica. Tell us how you feeling, girl.
Hey guys, so I'm Jemika Hall. I'm the founder of a grassroots nonprofit in upstate New York called Mark's Friends Inc. Um, I started the organization 3 years ago, but it came to heart in 2018 when my 17-year-old was killed through senseless gun violence. I did the typical New Yorker's dream where you pack it all up and go down south and everything is supposed to be like peaches and cream, white picket fences, and ours was a totally different outcome. What I thought was going to be my safe haven ended up being my hell. My 17-year-old was killed by senseless gun violence from other 17-year-olds that had previous gun charges. He was killed during a robbery. He was on life support for 2 days, and eventually he was pronounced clinically brain dead. So he got taken off life support. His At his time of death, I kind of didn't really know what I felt because I think I just didn't grasp it. But I came back into New York and I was looking for like the programming that we now have, like for families that have actually been through it or people that have actually been through it. And there wasn't anything for the siblings. So we created our organization.
Oh my God, that was so it was a that was deep. That was extremely deep. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I know that could be hard for a lot of people, but you took something and you made it into more for others. Trills, did you have a question?
Yes, yes. But she mainly hit on a lot of the things that I was going to ask her. You feel me? Because I just was going to basically ask her like, what was the vision behind Mark Friends and how did it come to existence? But she basically broke that down to us. So that was very deep. I'll give it nothing but respect, sister. Nothing.
Yeah. No, she said that very well. She put that
But
together very well. Can you give me some emotions that was behind the drive that made this into fruition, that put this into fruition?
I'm getting chills because like I try like for me to actually even do what we do, I take the emotion out of it. So when you're telling me to give you emotion, it's like I'm safe and I'm able to talk. So the name, let me break the name down for the organization. So you know that my son, he's Demarcus. He was 17 like I said, and was killed. Mark's friends. Mark's friends. People say Mark and friends. No, it's not Mark and friends because Mark is no longer here. It's Mark's friends that kept me afloat. Some of the hardest times after his death, I would be sitting in my house and I would be spaced out for 2 and 3 days at a time. I'd be around groups of people and nobody understood what I was going through. It would be his friends that would randomly hit me up or reach out or do little things for me and my other children, and that's why the name came to play as Mark's friends. That was like a given for the name because his friends were the ones that held me through what I was going through. And then when you break down the Marks, MARCS, it's manifesting after revisiting crisis. So you have to go back into what really caused you to be there to really go forward. So I have to constantly touch back on his death and that it's real for me to even move forward some days because some days I keep waiting for him to come in my door. Um, Trying to like process his death. It's in and out. So I it's our organization is supposed to help other people, but I'm also still helping myself.
Ooh. Ooh, give that abbreviation one more time. Break down marks one more time.
It's manifesting after revisiting crisis.
Ma'am, let me tell you something. That's gonna be that's That's a quote right there. That's definitely gonna be a phrase. That's anytime we think of you, we gonna think of that phrase. I hope, like honestly, if I hope to have you back on the show, and that's gonna be your slogan right there, because that's power. That's powerful for you to come up with that by yourself. I'm enamored. Trills.
Very, very, very powerful, man. Like that's deep, and I'm firm believing things like that with names that hold meaning behind the letters to it. So with the abbreviation, so like that's very, very, very like very powerful and touching right there. And I also
Creative, powerful. It's a lot
everything.
behind that.
Yeah.
It's so much behind that, and like when I say I appreciate you sharing that, because this is like, yo, like I like, we you know what I'm saying, like this my girl already, but now I'm getting to learn her more, and it's like it's very much like I'm excited to even be talking about this with you. So what are the challenges that you face? Like, like how did you find the strength to turn something so tragic into something positive for others?
Well, one of the key things was like, and one of the key things about how our organization is run is I look at the things that I've need, and continue to need, and those are our key points for finding services for other people. Our creating services are, like those are like almost like quote unquote little speaking points. So usually I look at the things that I've gone through since I lost my son, which is the main thing is trying to find therapy or groups that you can openly speak in about it and feel safe. A lot of times when people that have lost children in our area alone, because it's a smaller area, would talk about the deaths of their children, people would say that they're looking for sympathy or different things like that. And I hate to be like on a little bit of not messy, but people could go on social media, because social media is like the front porch for everybody to go out and get different feedback. So with like, I'll use Facebook for instance. Facebook is a big porch, and it connects so many people, and so everybody gets to search and look at everybody else's porch. Say when you see people post screw what is just somebody not having anybody to talk to, as in somebody crying out for attention. Attention is not always it. Sometimes people are looking for somebody that's going through the same thing to uplift them. Sometimes people are just telling their story because God is placing it in their heart to speak, and that only platform they have to speak on, because that's the only where they're connected, is social media. So that's one of the big things too.
If you don't mind me asking, how do you see and that was very empowering. I love that. You feel me? And that's why this question right here gonna come right behind that. How do you see Mark's friends making a difference in the lives of those who have suffered from violent and tragic losses also?
Well, what I say is this: we take what we're suffering with or what we've been afflicted with. We take what the people that are around us are going through, and we just try to like genuinely look at those things and be the resource or be the pillar for it. So there's people that they may have lost their child, but they have a husband, and so instead of them wanting to pour into them, we had adult groups that were meeting. It's just like basically looking at like common sense things and turning them into programs within our program. When we originally started out, we had like four parents in our group, and two of them had lost two. Okay, one of them had lost a son through gun violence. Another one had lost two sons in a drive-by separately, a couple years apart. One had lost her son because of he got hit by a car, and the first day that we met, it was so emotional that some people couldn't even stay, because it was like we finally have our own space, you know what I mean? So it's just like really looking at the need of what's around. It's almost like supply and demand. We need somewhere to meet, we need these different resources, we need our own little like blood or like our own little family, because a lot of times, like I said, you'll go into these grief groups that are hospital run or other agency run and are not necessarily urban or like with the traumas that we've experienced, and you're talking about your story and they're gasping and they're supposed to be the therapist, but they're showing that they can't even handle what you're giving them. So with us have all been through it, when we hear it, we're almost desensitized because we've been holding it for so long, so we can actually support each other. It's like trauma informed care, where you don't need to be a specialist to help each other.
Ooh, that's key. That's key. You gotta you have to experience it to understand it in a way. That's key, especially for us folk. And you know what I mean when I say that, especially for us. That's glad you hitting. You got some heavy hits, sis. No shade. You got some heavy hits. Matter of fact, and that that brings me to want to talk about something that me and you both passionate about. I'm gonna just slide this question in there because me and you both passionate about this. Tell me your ideas on entitlement versus boundaries. Because see, when you go into these spaces, yeah, you already, yep. I see you laugh because it's like you already know that's
you already know I'm ready to, I'm already knowing I'm ready to.
I already know you ready to get into it. You ready to get into the meat of it. But like, cause
the meat and the potatoes of it.
Yup, you get into these places of hospitals and stuff, and they feel entitled to tell you something that they haven't experienced. And it's like certain things like that really peeve me. So I want to know, what do you feel about entitlement versus boundaries? Come on, sis.
Okay, so with me, I feel like there's no way in the world that somebody who hasn't been through something that you've been through can fully tell you how to feel. They can tell you how to cope, probably moving forward sometimes. But what a lot of people don't understand with grief, and I'll say that like with grief and entrepreneurship, you can be outside trying to conduct business and help somebody else. And I remember being hired at the VA hospital, for instance, and they had crash, like how they do where they do a thing where you're fake coded, like a person is coding and having a cold blue, and I froze up because it brought me back to my son's death. And so sometimes people will be looking at you like thinking you're just being weird, or and you're actually in a emotion because they said the medulla, and that's the head, gunshot wound to different, like it be words. Sometimes it's something so simple, and it's like it made me feel like, okay, these are certain things that now that I know this bothers me and this is triggering, I have to create boundaries. I can no longer work in the medical field. So I had to walk away from a career and let people feel like, oh, she just doesn't want to work, or she's being lazy because her son died, not knowing that even hearing medical terminology was making me freak out. Not even seeing stuff, but just the terminology alone. And that's the next part, the entitlement. So when people feel like you're already there or you're already doing something, they almost feel like just because you're doing it, you have to be okay with doing it for them. And it's just it's a lot. It's so many different layers to it. And it's like, for me, I just find myself as like, I always offer what I can. I always get stuck with more than I'm able to give. And it's like I'm just trying to, in 2024, like, not let myself be depleted. Those boundaries have to be in place. The entitlement is going to be, if you're able to reciprocate what you're given, I can and give you that entitlement. But this year is one of those years where I'm going to make sure that business is stood on, as they've been saying, because you can't be everything to everybody else, and then they don't have to be nothing to you.
And that's period. And that's period, Paul. No, for real, because it's, oh my God, you don't understand. I'm very passionate about that topic. So I don't want to, this is all about you right now. So I'm not going to dive into it the way I want to. But girl, you already know I'm going to call you later and we're going to talk, because
yes,
you're going to have to counsel me through that too. Like, because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that energy trills. Like, back me up on this one, because I know you know what I'm talking about. Oh, you on mute, boo? Oh, okay.
Yes. I feel this energy. Like, that is very powerful energy. And what you doing, sister, is need to be out there. Like, more people, I hope more people follow suit with this. I really do. Cause like this is very powerful, and a lot of people don't or even see or anything, like even in these things. And what you breaking it down to them, I hope that they actually take this in. Really do take it in, like me and her is taking this in. Cause sis know you over here. I don't, but with me getting a chance, just hearing everything about you, like it got me wishing I would have met you before. You get what I'm saying? Feel like I met you in the past, just due to like your energy and how everything that you want, because that's what we on. We off that type of energy also. So it feel like I met you before, sister. But I back you 100%, man. I do, man. And I'm glad, and I appreciate the fact that you did take the time to come sit down with us and discuss this and break these things down with us, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm telling you, it just make you want to just be there the whole time, the whole experience. Like, just like, nah, that's my sis. I got her. Like, that's what it makes you feel. We feel it. Like, we don't,
and you want that,
yeah.
You want that as a person. And it's like, it's crazy when, like, when we talking about, like entitlement. Like a lot of times people will say, oh, well, I know she lost her son. She has to be sad. I know she got the other kids. That has to be hard. Oh, now she's running a business and that has to be like difficult as well. But then they'd be like, here, take some more of my problems. And you're like, well, Jesus, I hope God keeps sending me to people that knows how hard it is with what I already have in front of me, and lets me
Ooh. Oh no. Jamaica, we can't hear you, girl. Hey everybody, the We So Fly morning crew. We lost our guest for just a little brief little minute, but she's back with us and she's getting ready to dive right back in on entitlement versus boundaries, because that's that's the topic at the moment. So girl, please continue to share.
Okay, so sorry about that, guys. My connection I had a call come in and it knocked it all off. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. So my the entitlement versus boundaries thing is really huge. And as people that are in the business world, even as friendships, even for our own mental health, we have to lay boundaries as we walk into this new year, because if we want to achieve the things we want to achieve, we have to put out there what we need. And I don't feel like it's demanding too much. I feel like for you to make a recipe to a cake, you can't just say, oh, I want a cake. And because you've seen a picture, you just start picking up any old thing, mixing it together. Boundaries are basically like instructions on how to handle yourself and how people gonna handle you. And when you put those out there, it almost makes everything else fall into place. A lot of people don't like boundaries because they have entitlement. And with entitlement, we all know how that goes. Like, I'm like that. And I had to find out, like, I needed to fix things within myself, because I'm the type of friend that, like, my business owner friends, I don't feel like going through all the steps of doing stuff to book them because I know their phone number, but I'm trying to, like, gradually learn to respect their boundaries. And then, like, just ask to be like, I don't want to make you feel like I'm going past my place by just because I know you feeling like whatever. Or even like when it comes to, I'm a big on bartering. So a lot of people aren't. They are very transactional and they want money for every little thing. But I'm the type of friend that I feel like, it shouldn't be like that. Like, because it's not always money that gets you somewhere. I've had a friend help cater for an event earlier in the spring, and she ended up getting a lot of like hit ups from that point on, which she was already okay on her own, but they were more like bigger accounts, bigger things. And it was like, I was like, wow, just as simple as that, she created her boundary. She told me what she was able to do. I told her what I needed. And that's how it came in. I didn't feel like it was entitlement on either end. She didn't feel like it. You know what I mean? It's just basically respecting others as much as we want to be respected.
Yes. Put a stamp on it. It's approved. I'm definitely one of those people. I'm one of those friends where I have a thing about me where you text me before you call me. That's it's the smallest rule, but people overlook it a lot. And it's like, for me, it's like, you never know what I'm doing. You never know if I'm mentally prepared for this phone call conversation with you. Text
That's
me
key.
before you call me. Yeah.
That's key. Because like people don't know, like sometimes everybody's going through their own battles, and I'm very transparent, so I share a lot on social media. And I do that because over the years I've learned that there's so many people that are waiting for me to post that next positive post because I keep them going. And I'm like, how do I keep them going? And I ain't even okay myself. But it's just, being that person that's encouraging. You still need time for yourself too. So sometimes, like, like people will call me and I'll be like, hello, hold on, hold that thought, and they'll get an attitude because they're so used to me being available. And I had to say, after I'll finish doing what I'm doing and get back to people, like, listen, sometimes you got to ask people if they're even emotionally in a space to receive that. You arguing with your boyfriend for the 20th time this year, and now my grandmother just died on top of my son dying. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the mental capacity to care about you arguing with that same man that's going to be doing the same thing for the next 10 years if you with him. You know what I'm saying? It's just people not realizing that their 911 ain't your 911.
Talk about it. What I eat don't make you poop, honey. That's period.
Exactly.
And I respect that, especially when it comes to boundaries and everything, because people don't understand that. A lot of people nowadays, and it's one thing that I do notice, and I always try to like stretch that on a lot of the We So Fly morning shows, that everybody is going through things. So the boundaries is, you do send a text or to just see if the person all right first. Yell at them. Like, you feel me, to text them, hello, are you good? Are you open?
Give
Are
them a
you
little
open?
brief. Give them a little briefing. You know what I'm saying?
I
Give them
mean,
a little taste test of what you got going on before you just throw that to them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like
yeah.
when you come at a person and some people make their problems act like their problems is more than the next person problems because a lot of people don't talk about their problems because they too busy trying to find a solution to get rid of them. And they got people who call with their problems and they know not that we be ignorant or anything like that. But please respect this because like this for real. It's like a victim and a survivor in the same room together. They both went through the same thing, but one is crying about it, and the other one is like, man, I've been through it. I'm walking through it with my head high. It ain't bothering me, and I don't want to hear about it unless we gonna follow speak on the solution. You got dumb people. Now, when you one of them people who call a person, and then they like, come on now, like you feel me? Or they telling you like some people put their problems to the side. They don't want to hear nobody else because they're too busy looking for a
Mm-hmm.
solution. So if you one of them people who got problems and don't feel like your problems is more important than anybody else's problem, because we all have problems. If anything, we need
Mm-hmm.
now speaking on a solution about the problem. You sit there and tell me your problem, I tell you my problem, then we gonna be like, you know what? Let's kick it like this. We about to come up with solutions about your problem and mine to make these things disappear so we can be blessed when we get off this phone and they don't mess up the rest of our day. When you call somebody and they happy, if they pick up the phone and they, yo, what's up? How you, bro? Or sis, how you? And you feel that energy, that good energy, and you know you about to dent in their day with your problem, you like
You
nothing,
should
man. Nothing.
stop right there.
Right there,
Yep.
it's right there.
Listen.
Feel me? Like, be like, you know
Listen.
what? I ain't even going. Now I'm gonna call
When
you back. I'm gonna hit you back
I'm
later.
telling when
Yeah,
I
but people
say
don't do that.
when I say don't trauma bomb me, do not trauma bomb me. I will laugh. I'm going to laugh. It's my first instinct because it's like, oh my God, it's trauma.
Are
You're
you
bringing
serious?
trauma to me. What do I do? Let me tell you, I had a friend who would call me 2 a.m. and drag the conversation out until 7 a.m. 3 times a week about their problems. And I was the friend that just, to listen through it because I'm trying to be, I'm saying I'm trying to be
You
that
wearing
friend because
yourself out.
I'm wearing myself, but this is the thing. This is one of my strong things I always bring up. Treat strong people the same way you treat weak people, and I'm saying it
Please
like
and
that
thanks.
because you you can't keep on saying, "Oh, she can handle it. She's strong." And then you
Mm-mm.
look at your other friends who can't handle stress the same way you do, and you be like, "I'm not gonna put trouble on them." Why you bringing it to my doorstep? You trying to brag me down to your level? We crabs in the bucket now. I'm
And that's
trying
the
to keep
thing.
myself sane. How do I keep myself happy with you dumping all this trauma on me? So
Exactly.
like,
And here's the thing. When you do that to people that are strong, people like me will come home and be frustrated with my kids because they ain't did something now because I don't had all this stuff dumped on me, all this heavy stuff all day, and I ain't get a chance because I had to rush home to do something. So the drive that usually take 9 to 12 minutes, and I usually tell myself, get it all out. Ooh, exhale all them people problems for the day. Okay, this happened and that happened. Then when you get home, you didn't get that time in between because my ride home, now I let you call me with your drama. Now I'm walking and bringing that junk in my house and my house aggravated. And it's not necessary. A lot of stuff that we're aggravated about is nothing nobody can help us with. So I had, even with myself, I be going through my moments with my son and people be like, well, why didn't you call me? For what? What am I going to say? It's the same damn thing it's been for 6 years, you know? It's the same thing. My son is dead. I'm sad. It's holidays. People have access to their kids. They don't care about their kids, or they do care, but they don't have this, or it just makes you feel like Jesus Christ. Like, I just want my son back because then if I get my son back, then I don't have to be this person that God called me to be. But it don't work like that. So we have to find a way to be right in the middle of it where we can do the work that God has called us to do, but still have our own mental balance. You know what I'm saying? And people don't respect
mm-hmm,
that a lot. When you put that boundary down for not allowing people to come into your space, or you not gonna be that people pleaser, then you'll find that a lot of people gonna start thinking that you're funny acting because you're
it's
now having some sort of boundary.
it's always like that. It's when you set your boundaries, the people who love you, they'll respect it. But the people who was benefiting off your affliction to people
Look how they
please, they'll
do.
always be the ones. They'll always
Click
be the
them fingers,
ones.
cause yeah. And it's
Trails, go
sad
ahead,
because
hop
people
in it,
don't.
Trails.
Mhm.
Hey, like this something like here, boy, like I go through this, it's like a thing of my life right here. Like, but I have to, sister, and always remember this like this. He get his strongest warriors, the most hardest. the most hardest and difficult trials and tribulations. Because you know why? We was able to take it. So that's why people look at us like me. You see your story, so I ain't gonna go on my, but I definitely got deep. I understand you. That's why me, I sit here and I understand it. Like when you go, I see strength. I see a survivor right there. Not a bad, I see a survivor right there. A very
I do too. But let
who is
me
feeling
Trills, let me borrow the number
yeah,
to the higher power because I need a
like
break, honey. Give me.
like, you feel me? But that's for all of us though, because that's why he give it to us. Because it's that, because we went through all this, orders, they done, they didn't. So they ain't go through the experience we did. That's why he have them coming to us. It's just us to pick it, choose wisely. We gotta pick our battles wisely. That's what it's up to. It's up to us to pick our battles wisely. Because we went through what we went through, so we can't help others get through what they went through. But we also, we also, we have our boundaries also. We have our strength. Some days we just want to be alone because we can't take on everything.
Gotta
That's why
recharge.
I mean, yeah, we have to recharge. We gotta recharge. Because like I was telling my brother City, I'm like one day when we was talking, and I said, yo, a battery. It's a reason why a battery have a negative at the bottom and a chart and a positive at the top, and it don't have a negative positive on the top and a negative positive at the back. I'm at the bottom because it's not equal. It ain't equal. It can't work right. It don't work right because it need to be a negative and a positive. So therefore, when the positives start going down here to the negative, and you got this person around a bunch of negative batteries, how can this person recharge? It can't. And once this person battery go to complete zero, everybody who's around them gonna walk away because ain't nobody has the power to recharge them. So that person needs to the way
Exactly.
back up a little bit,
That's a
had
good one.
charge themselves so they can recharge themselves. They have to. They have to recharge themselves. They ain't being funny. They ain't being ignorant. They ain't acting like they better than
Thank you.
anybody. Not doing
Thank
none of
you.
that. You're taking
Thank
time to
you.
be selfish. And this is not the type of selfish that most people understand. It's not that type of selfish that you think I'm talking about. It is good to be selfish. There's one type of selfish that is not bad. It's selfishness. It's in order to
Self
recharge
health.
yourself, in order for you to be the person 100% to be back out here, to be a helper, to give back to anything, it's you. Can nobody help you? Ourselves, including me. Can nobody put the 100% into us because everybody has their own problem. And nobody even know you or us like we know us. Only the person in the brains attached to us know us and what we actually go through because we don't share everything. We don't, especially people like us. We don't share nothing. We just take it on the chin, keep it moving, and we handle it. That's why when we explode, that's why it's a lot of stuff we held in that really means something, but we exploding now because we was holding it in the whole time. That's why it seems so hard because
Today, me today, me today, me today, me
like
today. And I said it's
yeah,
time for me to go back in the
like
house because it's time for me to go back in the
Mm-hmm.
house. I was in a Dollar Tree, just for instance, and I was already having a rough day. So many different situations took place before that one. And I'm ringing my stuff up, and I forgot to get my friend that was in the car with me soda. So I grabbed it, and a lady had walked in the store, um, other than our complexion. And she was mad because they ran one extra item on her receipt. Miss, $1.25. Do I need to give it to you? But anyway, I'm trying to cash out, and the man is going to help her. I said, "Excuse me, sir. I'm here, and I was here before her. So what you're gonna do is finish my transaction, and then you can help her." That's the entitlement. When people walking in and they feel like because they had a past thing or they had this or whatever they got going on means more than what you got going on. I have kids to go home to. My kids are getting ready for school for the week. She about to come braid. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, we have to even when we look at situations with other people, they're there for us as teaching tools 90% of the time. I try to take every negative situation moving forward in my last like maybe 6 months and take every situation and look at it as it's bad, but what did I get out of it? You have to take those situations and just wring out the parts that are needed and leave what's not. Every single situation is a teaching point. If you didn't gain something really good from it, it's a teaching point. And it's a teaching point sometimes where God is giving you the same thing over and over to teach you something because you haven't got past that. If you don't pass the lesson, if you don't learn the lesson, you can't pass the test. So a lot of things are tests. And I had to start telling myself that. So my reaction to stuff is different. But today I had to let her know, Miss Ma'am, you gonna wait till he finish with me, and you gonna be quiet while you stand there because he's gonna finish and give me my change, and then you gonna get the help you need. And that's setting boundaries. That's letting people know you will respect me. I am here. I'm grown just like you. My money spends just like yours. Boundaries and entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
right in the store
Mm-hmm.
today. Right in the store today. Like,
Right
I know you
there.
feel entitled, but let me set this boundary for you because he's not
Mm-hmm.
helping you until he's done with me. You know, it's just simple like that. And it's like we all think what we going through is important, but we don't know that other people got stuff going on too that may be more important. And that's why even like us as individuals, we really got to understand and respect people's boundaries, whether it makes us mad, uncomfortable, or however we feel. We got to stop and ask ourselves, how would I feel if somebody did that to me?
Oh,
How does
I
it
was
feel?
just, oh my God. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
got a good question. I got a good question because I swear I got a good question. How do you check yourself when you're inside the entitled energy?
I laugh because
Mm.
I be so with me when I not unless I think that people should just because I just no they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. Nobody's telling you to do it, Jamika. God is giving you a mission. It's up to you how you curate your path. So you can't think because you think this is a good idea. Everybody else supposed to stop breathing and then catch their breath again because you say, okay, you can breathe. Like they like they going for an x-ray. No. What I do when that happens and it's turned around to me is I stop. I ain't gonna lie, I laugh and I be like, girl, you would not even want nobody doing that to you. It's just self-realization, knowing that like accountability. The simplest thing that we've been screaming for the last couple of years
There
is
it is.
accountability. Knowing where we stood wrong. And I always self-check. I always look at stuff like even if I feel like that makes sense for that to be that way, that person doesn't have to. And just so also knowing when you being quick baited and stuff, sometimes people will offer something that you'll think is the most genuineness deal as possible, but in the end it's not. You know what I mean? It's really way more selfish than it seems. And you just have to learn how to like filter through those things and look at it and actually write down. Writing stuff down will make you not do stuff. And I'm not a writer. I'm more of a voice clip and hear my voice with what I said. I'm more of a person that will go live when I'm in and recharge myself because sometimes I feel like nobody can pour into me but me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just knowing how powerful you are within yourself. Because sometimes we get around a bunch of, like he said, negative batteries and they drain the life out of us because we think that's where we're supposed to be, which it is. But we also supposed to have our boundaries so that that entitlement doesn't deplete us too, because we still need our energy to conduct our basic life. So when you get down about 50% on your battery, it's time to pull yourself back because guess what? If you got children, a spouse, a partner, just a life period outside of whatever you're choosing to do to be like that, public advocate or that person, you still need to take back while you're still at 50%. Because think about it. When you got a half a tank of gas, you ain't about to drive to Florida, is you? So why would you sit and do something past what you're able to do? You got to know your limits. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the boundaries
Mm-hmm.
come in. Boundaries have to always be in place. They have to always be in place for us to be, safe for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Trills, same question. Because you could piggyback off of her. Piggyback off her because I feel the
Yeah,
energy. But same
yeah.
question. How do you check yourself when you about to get entitled with somebody? Like, you feel me? How do you check yourself?
Truthfully, like I got a little guardian angel. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is something this year that I've been really like ah, but I Allahu Akbar, man. All blessings to the universe, man. Like for real, when I'm by myself, I be trying woosahs and doing my best, but like I was blessed with somebody like dearly. Not only my Snickers mother have, but I got not only my wife, she there too. She keep me grounded and help me do things. But I got a friend, brother that I met last year. His name is Romulus. Like he is really like my angel, cause he is helping me deal with this situation right here. You feel me? Like what you just asked, cause I be finding myself the people who feel entitled and all that, and sometimes I be wanting to rip their heads off. Cause I know like they wrong. I'm
Ooh,
like, like sometimes I do be really I ain't gonna lie, get the best of me, cause you gotta remember I am one of his chosen few. So he brought me out the hellfire in order to fight his battles and protect his golden ones that never touch the fire and don't know no better about the fire. So I'm here to protect them to keep them out the fire. You feel me? So with me being there, I still got them in me. So sometimes I be looking and I be wanting to handle things the way that I'm used to accustomed to
yes.
handling things. You feel me? And that's when I'm breaking out. And like I said, to the blessings in the universe for blessing me with a good brother and a friend like Romulus. he also be helping me out. Like, nah, you can't think that way. You can't do that. You can't. It's bigger pictures. Like, don't let the irrational overpower your rational, because you gotta understand this person feel entitled. But look who talking. Like, evaluate. Like, you a bigger person. It's the reason why you thinking this out, because it's a reason why you sit here to think it out and evaluate. Because if you evaluate, and that means if you act the way that you going to act, you are going to lose a lot. But since you are
Amen.
evaluating, I mean, you're not going to react that way. So that means it's not that serious. So basically, look at the more positive than the negative in it. Back away from it and ask yourself: is proving a point worth me draining the rest of my 23 hours in this day, or letting them be who they are and for their sense of entitlement and not making them exist and walking away? Better. Or make them exist, mess my day up, wind up doing something, losing everything, and they win. So I goes with the other one, and that's why I said shout out to my bro his flowers for that, because he helped me. I even have a situation yesterday with that about somebody who feels super entitlement to something that they did wrong. They didn't want to take no accountability or nothing. So I had to be the bigger
Woo.
person to take accountability for them. You
Yes.
get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's how I do it, man. You feel me? But just shout out so much. Shout out to my brother, man, for real, because he helped me out through this, man. Romulus man.
Romulus.
Bro,
We love you
real.
over here. We love you, Romulus.
Yeah.
Child, he's a sweetie pie, I swear. But for me, I want to say how I self-check myself. I won't lie, I have to think about this time, right? I was at the grocery store as a kid, grocery store with my mom. And we online at the 10 items or less. And we got 9 items, right? So we getting through, and this lady comes. She has like a little uh uh a canister of biscuits, and she's like, "Excuse me, can I just get past you? Like, I only have one thing." And my mother looked her square in her eye and said, "Are you dying?" And it was like it was sarcasm, but at the same time, now as an adult, I understand what she means. It's like, if you're not dying, then it's no urgent need for me to move out of your way. It's not urgent for me. And it was like, for me, I think of it the same way. I think if I'm not dying, if I'm not, if not a life or death situation, then I could wait. I could be patient. Patience to me is key to checking your entitlement. You got to be patient with yourself enough to be like, okay, you got to be patient with yourself enough to know when you're entitled to do something. Because sometimes we entitled to react or respond a certain way we want to. Sometimes we justified to do certain things. Like, somebody trigger you the wrong way and they know better. Because if I gave you 3 fair warnings and you still do it, I'm entitled to act how I want to act right now. You feel me? But the first time you make that mistake, I'm going to set a boundary there. I'm like, listen, hold on, but you made a mistake one time. I'm going to set my boundary. You try to cross over that boundary again, I'm going to set it higher to where you can't climb over. You try to climb over that second time,
you're done.
Oh baby, it's over for you. I'm entitled to do what I please at this point. That's
true.
Really like how I check myself. I think about all the times where I know I've had moments where people will just, like I said, when people will just call me without texting first. I know how I feel in those moments. So I'll be like, let me remind myself how I feel when people do it. And let me just. But
no, definitely. And even to say that, like, when I'm looking at the wider thought of what you're saying, when you're saying, how do you check yourself? So I do have people. And let me tell you something. They were so proud of me as 2023 ended. And I'm going to say their names just in case they end up getting to hear this or whatever.
Shout them out.
One
shout
has
them out.
been
Put a line on them.
Yeah, I got to shout out Keisha Hill. I got to shout out Mariah Henry. I got to shout out Daria Williams. I got to shout out my friend King Gail Cream, because they are people that I didn't even like associate myself with or know, like, having my intimate brain space prior to like 6 years ago when my son died. Like, I knew them all. I knew them all, were familiar with them, but to have them like right in there, where when I used to like lash out on my social media on the first 2 years of me having a business, when people would do me bad business, and I would be they would write stuff and I would take it personal. Like my organization was actually my son. They said something about, I used to go on there and I would Wendy Williams, They Behind, and 2.3. When I tell you, I used to shred them. And like, as I got a year and a half in, 2 years in, and started working toward that 3-year marker, I started having like where Keisha would hit me up and be like, take that down. Mariah be like, I understand where you come from. So like, I'll say in 2022 was the year where I just said, I'm tired of trying to prove my point. Everybody know what I'm capable of. They know how the people are. And it don't matter what the story is, they're going to believe what they want. But like the Keishas, the Darias, the Mariahs, the Cream, and like different people, like I couldn't even take that type of advice from my brother because I felt like I didn't know what space my brother was speaking from. He my brother. He always going to say I'm doing something wrong. He that type of brother. He not the type of brother that, you ain't going to say nothing about my sister. He always be like, it's you. You got to change the way you think. So I changed not only the way I thought about things, like I said, I changed the way I thought about them. I just changed the way I responded. Because I was like, every time something happens, they're doing it on purpose. So I could be like, rah, 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 the angry ghetto Black girl that's mad because somebody killed her son. So I changed that. I started just letting it be like, oh, that's what y'all gonna do? Ugly, deflect it. Oh, that's what y'all gonna do? Ugly, deflect it. And I said, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me throw myself into my business. Because that way, if I throw myself into my business more, they ain't gonna have no way to get around me because we don't let them in my personal space. So only closest they can get to me is social media. And I started letting them have social media because that's the only thing they was having in real life. So once you do that and you start backing away from stuff and you have those people around you to pull you back from stuff or remind you how you need to conduct yourself, that no matter what anybody says or does, it doesn't matter. It's how you respond to it. So learning how to respond to that entitlement, learning how to respond to the boundaries you already set that are being violated, it keeps you in a good space because I've learned to even just say no. No is a complete answer and an explanation. No. No. And it
And
feels
that's
good when you
on
say no.
and that's on Mary and every lamb. It's a no. It's a no.
No.
Thank you.
No. And it feels so good. No. Just say it. Just y'all all say it. No. And
No.
they looking because they waiting for the next part. And you're like, just no. It ain't even no, I ain't got to say nothing else but no. Because you can look at how people carry themselves and conduct themselves when it's you. It's always they got to see, they got to think about it. And do you watch how they carry themselves when it comes to other people? It's always rushing, running, helping. And you sitting there like, oh, really? But when you need my help, I'm right here trying to help without even being asked. Because I know you need it. Nah, let me just hit you with it. Kill him with the no. You know the Jamaican song, kill him with the no. Head tie, yep, quick no. And I promise you, if you just say no with no explanation, people be gasping for breath because they ain't even used to that from you. Givers have to stop giving sometimes too, because you got to save some for yourself. And then you taking on assignments that's not yours. Just tell people no. Tell them
I
no.
learned I learned something. I learned how to decipher through all them people, and they hate me for it. I'm known to be hated for that one thing. Where
Me
I
too.
found a cheat code to figure out who's for you and who's not. You know what it is? You just say one simple thing, man. You know what, man? I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people sitting here doing this and that, man. Man, from now on, you gotta show me you love me. Forget telling me. You have to prove and show me. I bet anybody who don't get mad, they for you. Like me. If the person tell
Mm-hmm.
if they say city, like, man, Trills, man, you know what? Man, I'm tired of you, man. You know what? Man, you want to start showing me you love me, man. I'm showing me, man. I'm done with you telling me you show me. You know, I ain't gonna get mad, you know what I'm saying? I, I thought I was, but that ain't the problem with me. What you want, some flowers? You want a hug? Feel me? Because I don't have no ill intentions. But a person that does, they gonna get mad, super mad. You know
As
why? Because
HE
they
double
don't really
hockey
deal.
sticks.
They don't deal with you, and they can show you. How can they show you when they really don't? How can they?
Mhm.
That's how you.
Like the hidden love, like
It's 85% communication nonverbal, and that's body language. Because you showing me you don't. You mad. Why you mad? Because you can't show me you can't show me you got love for me. You can't show me. Because you don't. But if you did, you wouldn't mind. You know what you would have said? All right. Okay, when we start. I thought I've been already started, but when we start. What's up?
or even like with a lot of it too is like if we know that we've been caught up in our own stuff and we see our friends stuff is coming up, taking the time out and say, hey, this is what I'm able to do, but where do you need me to help at? and not wait until the day of people's things to want to help them and then think they're supposed to stop and break it all down to you. That's going to take a whole nother hour when they're going to just do it themselves. A lot of time, and that's where I've been like frustrated with everybody. It ain't no person that I don't feel like that towards. You're not going to come and offer to help me on days that's convenient to you, or times that's convenient to you, but then you don't want to, like, the prerequisite. Like, you want to come and just be a doctor, but you don't want to take the prerequisites to do it. You got to come when it's not busy for me to be able to help you do what I need to get done. If you're coming right when it's the main course, I'm not about to stop then and do it. No, thank you. I got it. And it's like, that's the burnout, and that's where friends got to understand. You can't get mad. Even you can love people but be a bad friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Love and care is two different words for a reason.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
all like, love you and I love you. When people say love you, I get it, because it's saying I love you takes responsibility of that love towards that person, that I love you. Saying love you means that the love that I have, that I give out to the whole universe, you're a part of that. No, the love I give out to the whole world
Whew.
is you're a part of that. No, if you can't tell me I love you and you my friend, then guess what? I already know you ain't for me in the first place, because why can't you personalize it and say I love you? I don't
Mm-hmm.
want it. Keep it. Keep it as a friend,
Mm-hmm.
as anybody. Oh, well, that's just how I talk. Well, then that's just how you're going to act too. Because you're not going to be really for me, because you still left off that I. So who loved me?
So all the people wondering, if that man or woman love you, if she give you love you, you know what it is now. Now you can't say you don't know. You got it from an expert, baby. Now you know what it is.
That's that generic stuff. That's that generic stuff. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want nothing generic. We don't want the Equate brand from Walmart. We want the Tylenol Cold and PM.
Okay.
We want the real deal. You know, when you're dealing with people and they're giving you that 100%, you need to meet them back 100. If you got 50, 75, it's still ways you can meet, and that's how you ask your friends, how am I slacking as a friend with you? Is there things that you feel like I could be better in? Because sometimes people aren't even aware of their actions. I'm very much like that. I don't always call my friends to check on them, but I could tell you that whenever they need me, I'm there. If you get that, like, so if I do call you because I need something and you need something, I'm quite sure at that very moment I could take care of your needs so that you can help me with mine. Are you really able to be that friend to me?
And that and that's it. That's period. For real. No, it's the truth though. It really is. If as long as you there when it counts and matters, that's true friendship. Um, so let me ask you, let me get back into your org because listen, I can talk about this all day with you. You know I will. But I want to get back into your
Really and
org because I
truly.
want to make sure, because I wanted to know and let the viewers and the listeners know, what are some of the activities and services you provide for your organization.
Okay. So Mark's Friend Inc. Um, Mark's Friends Youth and Outreach Center, located at 136 South Street in Newburgh, New York. It's about an hour outside of New York City. Our organization has 4 key components right now, which we gonna help. If you come there and you need anything that we don't got, we're gonna try to help do a warm handoff to get it. But the main component of our organization was the grief groups for the adults, which it's kind of like to be TBA with that, because as it's needed, everybody kind of got tired of that. So we started another group, which is it's the Dub Club. So it's like a spinoff of the adult groups, things that we just ain't gonna go for no more. It's a Dub Club, and you're probably the first people that really know outside of the people that are actually in it, because I don't really promote that as much. It's more of like, you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, because it's more genuine who's going to be a part of it. The main highlight that everybody knows is our at-risk youth group, which is the VIP kids. We finally found a name for it. VIP stands for Violence Intervention and Prevention Kids. So basically, we're trying to teach these kids that you don't have to be violent, and if you do feel like you get in there, let's intervene. And then let's also remember, let's just even still try to prevent it. So the VIP kids group is a program that's ran between 2 p.m. and 7 Monday through Thursday during the regular school year. And we do all kinds of activities. We keep our group down to 15 and under children so that we could be more genuine, actually have more reach, be able to really learn and know these kids. All the kids in our group have been affected by some sort of trauma, whether it be direct gun violence, whether it's parents with gun charges, incarceration, loss of a relative close to them, been around a violent act, all of that. So then we have a food pantry, because to me, one of our biggest things was growing up is making sure that we were hungry. If not hungry, so if you're hungry, you can't concentrate because your mind is on your belly. Anybody with clean clothes and something to eat, you could talk about stuff for days. So we have a closed food pantry that's really for our participants, but we do service outside of that with emergencies. We had an impromptu program that come out of our program from that, which is our baby closet. Our baby closet started with us getting Pampers donated from the United Way, because once a year we get 1,000 Pampers from them. We ended up with a partnership from Target where we get direct donations, and we now have a baby closet that has diapers and various formulas. We don't always have every size pamper or the exact formulas, but for the most part, we're usually pretty fully stocked and able to give out a once a month batch of formula and Pampers, or we can also service in emergencies. Fourth, in our newest program that will be launching within the next, I'll say, 2 months, because it's been just ongoing because we're getting certified by the state in the process so that we can be able to set up childcare and other grants that are like grants, and also be certified by the state, is our the breakfast club for the kids. So that'll be an AM program that will be open from 6 a.m. to 9:15 to help get people off to work on time. They would drop their kids off at our center and we'll see them off to school for them, where we have morning activities. If they still want to rest, we're going to have cots there where they can go and lay down and rest. If that's what they want to do, we'll do breakfast with them and different stuff like that. Now, wraparound services, we connect with a lot of other agencies in the area. So if we don't have it and you need it, we're going to connect you with to the right agency and do warm handoffs. Now, can we guarantee that they're going to have what you need once you get there? We won't, but we won't just send you over there and say, hey, Catholic Charities has this, hey, United Way has this. We're actually going to connect you with somebody there that can see if you're eligible for what they do have, and if they don't have it, who can help you moving forward. We're trying to focus on giving warm handoffs at our agency so that people are not left to fight and figure out these resources on their own. We all know that when we call as an individual, sometimes we get brushed off, but when we call as an agency, we get respected. So our agency is also welcome to making phone calls to help with all different other kind of issues to help people get the resources they need.
I know I'm coming down there when I get hungry. I'm coming down there. Save me a can
Come on,
of
our kids
soup.
be eating crab legs. Our kids had a crab boil. Come eat. Come
I
eat.
want some
Won't do nothing else. We're
breakfast.
gonna eat.
Don't give me some.
Cheryl, we gonna go get a nice hot meal and a cot, honey. We about to go get some. We gotta get it good.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
everything
We're trying to make sure we take care of our community.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
what it's all
okay. Oh wait, go ahead, Trills. I'm so sorry.
Oh, go ahead. That's all it's all about, man. You know, I'm all about the community.
No, I was gonna go into my next question, because my next question is like, kind of like it's kind of like the really good question is, if one wanted to volunteer or find you for assistance, how do they do that?
Okay, so we have more than one way. We have a Twitter, which I'm not that great with, because Auntie a little old. She's 43, so she don't be knowing how to do all that good stuff. So I'll say the main way to get in touch with us, if you wanted to volunteer, if you wanted to get services, or you even wanted to donate, support, or any of that, our main email is Marks Friends, MARCS Friends 2020 at Gmail. Our social media page that's super active is the Marks Friend Inc. page on Facebook. That's MARCS Friends Incorporated. It's on Facebook. You'll see the little picture with his it's like a silhouette with the name around it. Or we have another email that we have been set up for different situations, and that's info for the number 4 Marks MARCS Friends at Gmail. So any of those ways are ways that you can get in touch with us, or they could always reach out to y'all and say, hey, I heard her, I want to support. We always have big endeavors. One of our first endeavor for the year, our big event that's coming up on the 20th, is we're having a community baby shower, because I had so many donations of diapers. I have like 60 cases of diapers, like tons of wipes, and I'm like, I'm about to have a community baby shower. So we letting people write in to participate. We're going to set up to 10 families, which is like the husband or the boyfriend and the wife or whoever. And we're going to have them come in. They're going to all have a big bag made for them with diapers and the basic necessities, but we're going to have like cribs, strollers, car seats, and then they could do games. And as they win the games, they'll win the bigger prizes. So instead of it being a baby shower where they invite people, it's one where they're the ones who play the games to win the good stuff. And it's going to be a DJ. It's going to be the whole setup. It's going to be like, oh, okay, this really is a baby shower. Yeah, it is, but it's just for the parents. You know what I mean? So if they had a baby from October 23 and are they're expecting up until March of 24, they're welcome to send in an email, and we're going to ask them certain stuff. Once we see that they fit the criteria, we're going to take down their, like, you know, the gender, the whatever, so that we can get their packages built up according to what we get in, and just have a good time, like just showing love, trying to give different things back that aren't really like helped with. You know, we can go get diapers from somewhere, we can go get formula like how we have, but how many people have you ever heard of having a community baby shower? Yeah.
Listen, I was about to hop in it, but like the originality of that, you don't know how that I want to be a part of that. Like, oh my God, that sounds so fun.
Never heard that
before. Come host it. It's the 20th. If you got anything to do, the 20th, it's at 12. The 20th of January. You don't got a show that day. If you got a show that day, you come
got
host.
A show. I'm booked and busy on January. Huh?
What time is your show? Look, come on up and help with that.
Girl, my show is in Atlanta, honey. I'm going to be in ATL.
Oh, you about to be flued out.
Yeah, flued out and groomed out, you know, yeah. But no, that sounds so dope. God, I wish I was available. Next one. Oh, yes,
next
please.
one. I got something in mind. I got some stuff in mind. I got a couple of things coming up. I got little things brewing. How Birdman rub his hands. I got some stuff coming up. You have.
See, look, boss lady got the mastermind.
Always being innovative. Always being the innovative person, you know, trying to push forward, trying to be creative and innovative. Don't want to be basic and standard. Don't want to be I don't want to be the copy. I always want to be the original, you know?
Trills, hop in because I got another question. I got another good one, but hop in.
Yeah. Hey, I ain't too much to say. I just, you know what I mean? Make sure you add Wesofly Morning Show to these events, man, because we would love to come out and support these things.
Listen, no, definitely. I'm going to be hosting.
Right.
I got some heat coming up. I got to actually start handling it from next month so that I can be sure that my dates are all locked in. But Miss May, I got some stuff for you to handle. You can bring the team. I definitely need some hosts, and I want some new.
You know I love coming up there. You know they're located in Newburgh. Okay, so that's why I'm like, you know I love coming up there. But now, one thing about her organization that I know personally is not just anybody can volunteer. That's what I wanted to get into. Now, there's a reason why nobody, any just body can just volunteer. And I want my girl Jemika to really give her give her put on that.
So with me and our organization, over the last 3 years, we were so open and gung-ho. Like anytime somebody would reach out, we were just willing to work with anybody. And over the last 3 years, let's just say we got burnt more times than our hands can handle. So I kind of make sure when I'm choosing to collaborate or like take even in volunteers, I look at what they stand for, what's like what's the motive, you know what I'm saying? I try to look into all those things before I just agree to work with people, because a lot of times people are looking for a stepping stone or looking to piggyback off the things you're doing or to make a name for themselves. And I like to find like the underdogs. I love working with the people that are little, and not because they don't have this or we want to take advantage. No, I like working with little people because I still feel like I'm little, but I feel like I'm little but big. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want to ever get high up enough where I'm not reaching back to pull up other people that's coming along to help. The bigger people or organizations or corporations, a lot of times they're emotionless when they put into things, and it's just for their name to be attached so it could look good. And a lot of times the smaller people are doing all the work, and the bigger people are just attaching their names to stuff and making a name off of it. Or they may bring in their platform or whatever, but the work that's physically being done behind the scenes is done by one or two people or one or two agencies, and they're working, around the clock leading up into events for things to take place. So yeah, I'm very, very finicky with who I work with in this area. Sometimes I'm not liked because of it, because I'm not the person, oh hey, yes, come on, this work. No. What's your work ethic? What's your passions? What do you really stand for? Are you out here in the trenches? Are you just standing on the side are you outside? Or are you on the sidewalk? Are you in a porch? Like, I have to see where you at with it, because it just, the work is not easy. And there's no way that I feel like if people are out here really like in these trenches, in these streets doing this work, you gonna just come stand on the porch and act like you was out here working, like you wasn't shooting at a gym. Yeah, I'm very funny with it.
So you wasn't with me shooting in the gym? Oh. Listen, letting y'all know now, she's not playing. She's standing on business all 2024. You cannot just be anybody working with her. She's doing background checks and she's checking her list twice. Who's naughty and nice? We're not playing.
Period.
We're not playing.
Period.
Trails. Like it's on timing, right?
Yeah, everything's on timing, man. Everything's on timing, man. For real.
All right. Oh, go ahead. I'm my bad.
Yeah, and definitely like on some real, you were sitting here rocking with Trills the Martian, Lady May, and Jemika the Great over here. That's my name for it, because she's definitely holding that torch. She's holding the torch
She
down.
You
definitely
said Jamaica
is.
the what? Hold on. What you call me?
Jemika the Great right there. You heard? You got the
Great.
torch.
No, that's the. Don't get me started.
But,
I feel my head getting bigger. Nah.
but look though, but thank you for joining us today and sharing the profound impact on Mark's friends. You feel me? And to all our viewers, stay tuned and more. Stay tuned. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all rock out with us, because there's gonna be a whole lot of enlightened conversations that we're gonna have on the We So Fly morning show. This is what we do every morning from 9 a.m. to 12 Eastern. You feel me? Like, this is what we do. And it's gonna be a lot of more guests, parents who gonna share their story remarkable. If you got a story, if you have a story and you want to get on here and come share it with us, and chill with the We So Fly morning show, and with the world, the viewers to hear it too, you are more than welcome, man.
Definitely welcome.
Yes.
Definitely welcome. So, Jemika, do you have any last words for our viewers?
Yes, I do. Let me go on my little rant because, So first of all, I want to thank God for, even when He took my son, He gave me back so many kids, aka Mark's friends. I want to thank all the people over the years that support me, good, bad, and different. Lessons learned, blessings earned. I want to start off with thanking my staff that are currently with me. That's Aviana, Melissa, Keisha Hill, and these are just people that volunteer consistently. Mariah Henry, which was my VP, Lisa Williams, which is our treasurer and secretary of our programs, Rosemary Jackson, which is one of our board members, Stephen Hall, one of our board members, my mom for when she comes into town, which work she does. Let's see. I want to thank the Boys and Girls Club for the RISE grant that we received from Kathy Hochul for being our fiscal management and helping teach me stuff that I didn't have together, but they has been whipping sis in shape. I think I lost a few pounds playing with them. Who else? I want to thank all the people that gave me bad business experiences because they show me how not to deal with the next person. Who else? I want to thank like the children that come to our programs and participate and come without having to be bribed to be there or no incentives. They come because they genuinely love being there. I want to thank God for the families. I want to thank God for anybody who has actually donated, like shared, help with anything with our organization, cooked a plate of food, donated $5, $10, everything that people do is something that without it, we wouldn't be who we are. So it's not that we're necessarily self-made completely. We're self-made because we put the thought out there and people got behind us and helped us drive it. So even like guys like you that reach out to us to help us get more exposure across your platforms, I appreciate you guys for having me. I thank God for my kids because in the beginning they thought that it was selfish or they didn't understand what it was, the method to my madness with this organization. And now they're at school having people come up to them and needing them to be resourceful and they're reaching out to me. So I want to just, thank God for that. He took my son, he gave me back so much, you know what I mean? And it's just, I mean, it's a great feeling when you really look at it on a whole and you don't look at the little negative bumps in the road. But overall, I do miss my son. If I could trade anything and get him back, I would. But we do realize that that's not how it is. We will meet again if life is the way it's supposed to be. And I don't know. I hope God continues to use me and expand my mind, pour into us financially so that we can continue to do his work. That's pretty much it.
Oh my God, those are words. That's how you do an outro. Now that's how you do an outro. We are so happy that you came. I hope and pray to have you on here again. I have to because the conversation was conversating. It was conversating. Like, ma'am, Miss Ma'am.
Y'all let me peel some layers away today, so I'm feeling real good. I could go upstairs and lift up anything and fix anything in my own house now. Look,
Girl,
I'm feeling good.
Listen,
therapy,
definitely
church
therapeutic, and I'm so happy to have you. Before we go, we're gonna have words from the CEO, City Boy. City, if you're ready.
Blessings on top of blessings. Yes, I'm always ready. I was soaking all this good information in, taking notes. I didn't know if I should write with a pen or use my notepad on a computer. I was going back and forth. It was so much good information. Whichever was quicker, that's what I used. But Jamaica, you are amazing. Thank you so much for the blessings, the energy, and everything else God got in store for us to do together as well. You and Trails,
Yes.
Lady May, you guys always, like they say, surprise, man, surprise. You guys always come go over and beyond. Because I'm listening to the conversation, like Trill said, it sounds like you guys been doing this together for a long time. You know what I mean? So again, as far as the connection between everybody talking here, but you guys got my attention on a couple of things, right? So three things that really caught my attention. Again, everything else did, but I really want to touch base on very important thing of, and this is the reason why we do this show. And healers need healing too. This is something that I always keep in the back of my mind, because as when we leaders, right? God want us to do his work. We supposed to be exactly doing his work, right? And the goal is to be compassionate with everybody, right? So again, but in a process, healers need healing too. When you think about that, you really think about, okay, well, in my line of work, doing this time that I've been helping so many people, and God bless me to be around so many people, hear so many stories, take on so many different energy and a lot of different things. I've realized, again, you still need a support system yourself. You still need
Amen.
to figure out different ways to take care of yourself, self-care. So when you think about police officers, when you think about Jemikas, for example, her situation, all of us, everyone, whether it's small, big, every one of us is going through traumatic experiences. And again, this is why it's important for us to take care of ourselves. Self-care is important, very important. And the things we do, the practices that we take, the steps we take is what's going to stop you from having an emotional toll at work, with your friends, with your family. That's the things that's going to stop you from giving up, all that. Because when you take break, you take care of yourself. When you love yourself, you do things differently. You take time to unwind. You take time to take it goes back to everything else. So I always want to co-sign, healers need healing too. But again, when we
They
dealing with
do.
their situation, is not our situation. We are there to help them. So we're not supposed to let it get to us to a point where now two people's down. The situation is supposed to be where, again, we take that information, but we let it go. This is where my next thing comes in: relax, relate, and release. This is phrases that I keep with me as my friends, my best friends. When you talk about best friends, those are the things I want to have as best friends, because the way the world come, the way that situations come, the way that challenges come, you have to understand how to be aware of these things. You got to know how to understand these things and let go of these things. So especially when we're dealing with situations that's uncomfortable, when you're dealing with negative energy, when we're dealing with these stressors, we got to learn how to let them go. Same thing with a negative.
Mhm.
We take on, sometimes you're talking to somebody, because not everyone knows how to really have a conversation where you, or open for you to help them. So sometimes it drags on, it's more again. But let me tell you the best thing I learned, just like Jamika said, saying no. I hope that's your best friend too. Say no when you have to say,
Mhm.
very important. But when someone demands your time, when someone demands your energy, like we said, sometimes you're not ready for it. But how we dismiss that person, how we deal with that person plays a big part in either their mental health or even your mental health. So I always say, always remember, be a good friend. I always tell people, hey, I love our friendship. I love our relationship. But right now, I need some time for myself. Let's schedule a time to talk. Let's connect. Let's figure out a way. You know what I mean? Again, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey,
Mhm.
again, it's just how we do it versus, I don't have time for you right now, or I don't feel like talking right now. It's just different ways of handling certain situations that makes it where that compassionate level is still there, but we're protecting both people versus, again, where somebody could feel like talking, you don't feel like talking. Again, let's set up a time. Let's go sit down and eat and talk about it. Different ways of just approaching these things is, again, this is the stuff that I look at, that I take advantage of. And also with the boundary situation, that's one of the things we're going to keep fighting, because first off, most people don't understand respect. So that's the first thing we got to understand. It's hard to respect your boundaries most people don't have
Mhm.
no respect, period, right? So it's one of those things where when it happens, and this is, we're talking to the viewers because I'm talking to myself too. What I do is, I used to get mad, right? I used to be upset that, oh my God, why would you do that again? I used to be different. And then now that's making me be somebody that I'm not, right? So then I understand what work was consistent. You got to be consistent. You got to keep enforcing these boundaries constantly. And that's the only way you're going to establish expectations. People will understand things the more you keep showing them that, yeah, this is it. Like, yo, this prioritize self-care. Prioritize self-care, guys. You know, at the end of the day, that is the first thing or major step to setting boundaries as well. So I just want to throw that out there to the viewers on how important those, again, everything else was, but those things that you guys mentioned will take them a long way in life. You know, so God bless you guys again. Jamika, thank you so much. Like I said, I was so inspired. I had to jump in, not only say hi, and hopefully we could connect again. And based on the amazing conversation I'm hearing, I know we're going to build from there. So I just wanted to come in and say thank you again. And to all our viewers, co-hosts, the host, everybody, you guys are amazing. Thank you again. And you guys can continue. God bless.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Words from the CEO himself. Trills, any last words?
I'm just thankful y'all chose me to come up here and get this stuff off my chest. I feel like I'm starting 2024 right on target.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. Trills, hop in there.
Hey man, life is blessed, man. Life is blessed, man. Like bro said, healers need healers too. Like sis said, healers need healers too. Like May said, healers need healers too. So
we all said the same thing with different words. Child, that's the mantra. That's the mantra of today. Healers need healing too.
right.
Come on, let's heal each other for a little bit. Give me a hug. Give me love. Give me love. Oh, give me a hug. Air hugs everywhere. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We will be back again with another interview soon. But until then, air hugs. And healers need healing too. Thank y'all so much for joining us. This is Lady May, and we out.
Let's go.